first off, this Iowa State duel is going to be televised on ESPN. First time a live duel, college duel, has been on ESPN. What's that do for the sport, or what does that mean for the exposure of college wrestling?
I think it shows you the magnitude of the series, of the match, of the rivalry. And ESPN isn't stupid either. They're going to put something on that they can sell and that they can, have a product on there that's going to have people tune in on a Sunday that goes head to head with the NFL. And the wrestling purist or a casual sports fan would not be disappointed to tune into ESPN.
For the sport, how does that allow the sport to kind of get out to those people that maybe wouldn't tune in?
The promotions of the sport come down to the action, entertaining style of wrestling, controlling the things that you can control, the center of the mat, things like that make wrestling exciting. The style that brings fans, that make people want to stay in tune and watch it. And so it's not really us being on ESPN that's going to bring awareness to us. It's going to be the product that's on the mat and how that action and how that attitude and how that the fight shines through up and down the lineup at both sides. And if both sides do what they're capable of, then it's going to be a lot of fireworks, and it could be great for the sport of wrestling.
That's what I was going to ask you about that. The rivalry being what it is, I mean, do you think that adds to what people will see on Sunday?
I think that even the casual Iowa State person that's maybe more in tune with basketball, football type stuff is obviously very, very interested in this Cy-Hawk series. There's a lot of things that are at stake, and the most important thing that's at stake is chances to defeat the opposing team, whether it's them talking about defeating us or us talking about defeating them. And that's where the fireworks is. That's where this whole thing is, this cornfield stuff, this, what Dolphin used to always say during the football game, soybeans that dominate. That's what Iowa is. It's wrestling, it's farm, it's blue collar, it's mentality. And like I said, if both teams come ready to compete, the casual sports fan, the guy that moves over from the NFL to watch this thing, they're going to be impressed. They're going to like that. And that's where to go further with your question there, that's where the promotion starts. It's not just us being on ESPN with that exposure.
Last time in Ames, things got
What's that?
Last time in Ames, things got a little excited, right, between the two teams. What's the message to the team, going into, probably going to be a hostile environment in Hilton on Sunday?
We've held our own with the fans. We bring our fair share there, and it's going to be a great environment. We're looking forward to it, and I'm sure they are too. This is going to be awesome. This is what it's about. It's the next event on our calendar. We're going to be ready to go, and we expect that they will be too.
How important is it to get that test this early in the year? Get that road test?
The test is every week. Right. Last week with Oregon State was a test. Luther was a test. I mean, every time that you step on the mat, you're pointing toward March. You're pointing toward, the ultimate, and that's putting 10 guys in a position where they can contend for a national championship. And then ultimately the team situation takes care of itself when you do that.
Drake, coming off his match with Oregon State, has kind of a key match here, possibly to kind of set the tone for Sunday. What have you seen out of him this week preparing for Sunday's duel? And
he's been really good. He's been accountable, and he's also been very vocal and questions, I should say, things that you would expect a awesome person, a great student athlete to do. That's what he's done. He's gone to work. He came back in and went to work right away. And he was accountable to it. And he was asking a lot of questions about things like, I'm better than that. Questions that were more statement. Things that, like I said, I'm not surprised one bit that he's disappointed himself. everybody in that arena saw Drake Ayala that they're not used to seeing. And, you know, there's some things that we don't need to talk about right now that maybe we're going on, but we're rolling. He's feeling good. Get a few things tweaked here and there, and we're rolling.
What does that say about him, that he's able to make that quick turnaround?
He's smart, and he's a competitor, and he is a son of a gun on the wrestling mat when he's ready to go. And we know that, and that's where we got to dial him into.
Gabe's coming off a big win. I think NCAA Wrestler of the Week. He's listed as either or with Aiden Riggins. If he gets the call, how much does he kind of embrace that spotlight? You know, this is a big spotlight to be in. He seems like the kind of person that thrives when the lights are the brightest.
He thrives when he gets the call. It's maybe not necessarily even when the lights are the brightest. It's when he gets a call and it's his turn to step on the mat. That's why he came to Iowa. He wants to be in front of that crowd. He wants to be the guy. He wants to go. He's made it very, very clear that he thinks he's the best 174-pounder in the world. And I expect that he's going to go out and try to prove that every single time he competes.
What did you like about the way he handled Sunday?
The way that he handled Sunday is a way that guys handle Sunday. They come out, they're ready to go, and they compete at the highest level. And that's what he does. We've known that about him since, you know, we were down sitting in his living room recruiting him. That's why we're there. We love him. We knew it was going to be a good fit. And it was just a natural pickup for us. And when he got to know us and got to know our program, their family and himself realized the same thing. It's a natural progression in his wrestling career.
Tom made a comment about, you know, you guys needed to dictate matches more, you know, coming out of the Oregon State. So what do you say to have the team come out and dictate against Iowa State?
You say that. You say, do you want it to be you or them? And if you want the best chance, because there are no guarantees, if you want the best chance possible, then you got to go out and you got to give everything you have into that next match that's up next. And you have to be prepared, you have to be focused, and you have to be undeniably accountable and undeniably ready to go at the highest level. Every time you step on the mat. Every time you step on the mat. This is the most important now because this is the next one up.
Anything else?
The history of the series, is that anything that you guys kind of remind the wrestlers of, or do you just leave that background noise for fans? And
the history of the series is it's a Cyhawk. Our guys know, this team knows, you know, what we're doing here. They know that, like I said here, this is the next one up, and it happens to be Iowa State. It's an event that we have circled on our calendar. It's an event that we have circled on our schedule, and we are going to be ready to go because we know that this is the next thing up that we got to take care of on our journey to March. And that's a best, simplest way that I can describe it. Now, simple doesn't mean easy, but simple does mean it can be easy to understand. 10-4.